the trends of studying and working at the same time has been lower to high school students. When I was a student, actually the concept happened to only university students as they really need work experiences related to their major. For high school students, what they can do now, I think, just kinds of job related to customer services, like waiters, receptionists, delivery men. Because those jobs doesn't really need work experience. In my point of view, high school students should mainly focus on education while starting working at very younger age like this provokes various impact on their life, including poor education and sexual job and nightmare experiences. I will tell you all points one by one. Now let me go to my first and most important point, which is about poor education. If a high school student spend time to work, it means they reduce time to study and it will certainly affect their learning result. Of course, high school life is very busy. In Cambodia, students have to spend a lot of time to study more than 10 subjects at school and also go to extra classes for specific subjects like science subject especially, and Khmer literatures, English, maybe Chinese as well, and also computer skills, which means they are very busy. So if they go to work, it means that they reduce their learning time, they reduce their homework time, and also reduce the time to do the research. I used to read a lot of research conducted in the United States and saying that students who work about 3 hours a day during their high school, they're likely to drop out of school compared to those who don't work or those who work less than this. Because for sure first they have no time to study, they don't understand the lesson and then feel bored with the lesson, after that drop. And also the research also illustrated that 12% among them who graduated their high school do not continue their university degree because they want to pay full time on their current job. Actually, these groups of students do not realize that their decision now is putting their future in a very dangerous zone. If they stop studying, if they not continue to the university because of their current job, it means that they are in a critical condition, which means putting themselves in an unsecure job, which I'm telling you as my second main point. The term unsecure job here, I refer to any condition at work that make employees feel unease because they can be fired at any time. Actually, worker working in basic positions really face of dismissing from work if the company, if their institution faces with financial challenges. However, if their bosses notice that their working capacity doesn't improve at all, they also be fired. So it is the nature that people, workers, everyone keep developing their capacity based on the development of technology and based on the needs of labor markets. In contrast, if they think I'm enough, I got job now, or I'm too lazy to learn more, no one can guarantee that they are safe in the current situation or in the current position. I'll give you an example. During COVID-19 pandemics, you have known thousands of workers has been laid off. And based on the research from Eurostat, saying that the majority of them were workers working in, we say, low-skilled workers, or workers receive low income, or workers working temporary condition, in temporary position. One more. To get higher salary, education is one of the criteria that all institutions or companies use. This means that if you have low education, absolutely you have low salary. A research again from the United States saying that workers who have bachelor degree could get 60% salary higher than workers who have no high school degree. Of course, it's very big gap. That's why it makes people who have no high school certificate living under poverty line. Students, looking for a good job is not easy, but performing well at work also the most difficult, because it requires various qualifications, including technical skills, soft skills, and experiences. And all these skills, high school students, I can say that none of high school students have this. That's why it usually makes their experience at their first job a nightmare. And I'll tell you a nightmare experience as my third point in this speaking. High school students are too young to know what is good, what is bad. They don't know whether the job that they see, the announcements on their social media are real or not. So when they just notice that, wow, this job doesn't need any experience, I can get high paid, can be work flexibly, and then they apply for it quickly. Actually, these criteria really attract them the most. But of course, these criteria are created to target them with purposes. Criminals notice that high school students need some money, and they are not really free, and they have no experience at all. That's why they create the condition for you and publish on social media, or can contribute to you at traffic lights, for example. So when you apply for this job, you are trapped. You are trapped with the condition at work that you don't really like. For example, maybe you are asked to pay some money to invest in Ponzi scheme, and then looking for other close friend or relative to invest in it. Or you can be one of a cyber criminal team that you have to do other illegal acts to get salary. In short, I can say that high school students should not rush to start working, because it can lower the ability of, it can lower your education. It can bring you to a limited condition that cannot get higher salary, and can bring you to a very horrible experience. Keep developing your capacity, and then you will get very good job. For high school students, studying is the top priority.